And yo, welcome back to Crucial Conversations. We back at BD Local, ready to get it in again. It is I, your host, Dontay Harris. Look, I have the honor of having one of my good friends in here today. He's one of the great basketball minds that I enjoy talking to often. When I got some questions, I usually give him a call, and he answers some questions, and we throw ideas back and forth. And what he's involved in is very interesting to me. But we're going to get into that in a second here. He also is a graduate of Puyallup High School, played at TCC.
Yep.
Back when they was doing their major things with Hal. He was one of those. He was on one of those teams. Also, he is a coach's coach. A coach's coach. What I mean by that, he does mentoring the coaches and business professionals here locally in the area. He's also the CEO of Triple Impact Coaching.
Yes, sir.
.org. You can look that up. You can find him there. And overall, great guy. I want to welcome Arvin Mosley Jr. To Crucial Conversations.
Man,
What's up, man?
I'm so happy to be here, Coach. I'm killer. I'm so happy to be here. Been watching, teasing us. You've been teasing us for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I
and
have.
You got a lot of fans off of some teasers. So here we are with the real deal, and I'm just happy to be here, brother.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? A little marketing there.
Yep.
But to tell you the truth, I kind of just fell in it and then realized what I was doing and got a little nervous and ran away. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? But
Yep.
I'm back. I'm
Yep.
back. And so we're coming with some episodes. So you're actually my first guest on Crucial Conversations in this BD Local studio. So
That's
man,
love. That's love. I'm
Yeah,
glad
yeah.
to be here. When I seen you talk about, you're looking for some guests, and I had to put the GIF up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I seen it.
I was like, come on.
I said, I seen it.
Yeah.
I seen it. I was driving to work and I seen it. I was like, oh, yeah, that'll be good. Because I
Yep.
wanted to get, I'm trying to do it weekly. So I'm trying to get in here once a week.
Yep.
So, first of all, what you thinking about, what's your team? You're a Seahawk?
Well, yeah, I'm a Seahawks guy. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Seahawks, Sonics, Mariners.
Oh.
Sounders, Storm, you know what I'm saying? Go Storm, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The Kraken?
I mean, eventually the Kraken, 21, okay, another year away, but yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
For sure, man. So football season started up.
Yep.
Your guys' defense looks something vicious. You guys, they look
Yeah.
young and fast again. Look quite intimidating out
Yep,
there.
young and hungry. You know, Coach Carroll loves those guys that fly around, play a lot of positions, speed.
Definitely.
Guys that can make tackles. Right, you don't got to be big, you don't got to be strong, but you got to make tackles. And so, I love everything about Coach Carroll's philosophy: win forever, always compete.
Yeah.
You know, him and Russell Wilson, that's a match made in heaven. If you're a football fan, you know.
Yeah.
I know Las Vegas is, you know what I'm saying. I know that's your little squad, you know what I'm saying. But
yes, I'm a Raider. I'm a Raider. Die hard.
You know, you guys got to change your jerseys every few years to try to keep up with the moves. But other than,
but we're still the Raiders.
Still the Raiders, though.
Still the Raiders. Man. We'll travel well. We're fine. We'll be fine in Las Vegas. Believe me.
Yes.
The Raider Nation,
it.
we're good there.
I believe it.
We'll be fine there, man. So I'm excited about a couple guys that we got. Some of our young players. Of course, our running back he's a goon.
Yeah,
I like him. So I'm excited about this season coming up.
Yeah, it felt a little weird last weekend, you know, because you don't get the build up with the preseason games, and so it felt kind of weird waking up Sunday morning and thinking like, oh, it's a real game. It's not, it's a real game. The starter's gonna play the whole game and everything.
I didn't even understand that process because I just started watching. I realized like, hold on, this ain't preseason. They
came right to it.
Yep, they going in.
Went right at it. So
yeah, but I'm enjoying that though. I enjoy just let's get after it.
Yep.
Also, I mean, so that brings us right into what I want to talk about. What are you thinking about the bubble, the NBA bubble?
I mean, I love it. I mean, I think they did what they had to do to make sure that the season went when it did. And I think there's only been one instance of somebody kind of breaking the bubble. You know, Daniel House there in the last series with the Rockets. But other than that, I mean, it's been awesome. It feels a little like summer league though. I keep laughing because the coaches got their sleeves pushed up and they got the little 3/4 zip ups and then they had some tennis shoes. So it feels a little like summer league, but I love it. I mean, and you know what? You got to come to play. It's no home court advantage. It's no travel. It's a game today. We're on the same court. We've been playing on the same court. We all have the same practice facility. Everything's the same. Yeah. So it's who shows up tonight ready to play.
I think that right there is what I've enjoyed the most.
Yep.
And going into it, I was excited about that. About the guys going in there, you stuck in the bubble.
Yep.
It's hoop.
And you see the guys that are still playing are the dogs.
Yeah.
The dogs are still playing.
Yeah. You
got to be a tough guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you got to walk around that bubble. You're a tough guy, and you're going to have to see the guy.
You got to walk with it. You got to walk with it.
Yeah, and it's no surprise that Jimmy Butler is where he is with the Miami Heat. I'm just going to say it. You know, I mean, he's a bulldog. Ain't no way around it.
Yeah, you can see it in his eyes.
Then that doesn't necessarily work the same, though, if you're traveling to Milwaukee, if you're traveling to Boston. But that mentality that he has in the bubble, he's that guy.
Yeah, so, in the bubble is different. Yeah, you're all stuck in the room.
Yeah, man.
You're stuck in the room.
Y'all eating buffet together. Y'all buying coffee. Say Jimmy Butler's selling coffee out his room. You know what I'm saying? So
he's fired up.
Big head coffee, I think he calls it. So
he's fired up.
Yep.
That's what's up, man. So yeah, I'm enjoying that too. But the reason I wanted to get you in here. Reason I want to get you in here, a big thing with me as I've been trying to develop and master is like mental preparation. Mm-hmm. A lot of my basketball game and just my philosophy on life is mentally preparing myself on what I'm going to be doing.
Yep.
I'm 42 now. Over the years, I've learned how to do that myself, and now I'm researching into it a little bit, trying to learn some more.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, I decided to stop by and talk to you, and then you had mentioned that you were going to be doing what do you call it?
Mental skill development, right?
Okay.
You know, we do physical skill development. You know, people have personal trainers at the gym, and so basically mental skills development. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So then that just sparks start flying.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, well, now that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now that's interesting. So, what is it that? What is something basically like for someone to start training themselves? What is something basic that you can start doing?
I would say one of the first things you want to do is get a little bit of self-awareness of how you talk to yourself. You know, I think research shows that the number one way that we get confidence is how we talk to ourselves.
Uh-huh.
And so, we talk about, you can read a Bible, you could read, a beautiful book like the Bible, you could read John Wooden, you can read all these great self-help books, but if you put them down and then you don't tell yourself how smart you are, how good looking you are, how talented you are, how special you are. If you're not telling yourself that, it doesn't matter what books you read. It doesn't matter what videos you watch. You can't be motivated and inspired if you're not talking to yourself the right way. So, one of the very first things that I talk to when I work with my clients is how are you talking to yourself? I want to get a little bit of inventory on what are you saying to yourself when you're at your best? What are you saying to yourself when you're at your lowest? And when you're just sitting here, what are you saying to yourself? And I don't think people realize how much we talk to ourselves. They don't have an exact number, but people have anywhere from 80,000 to 100,000 thoughts a day. And of those, the vast majority, 80 to 90% of our thoughts are negative thoughts. So if we're thinking negative, it doesn't matter how much positive we read. If we're thinking negative and we're talking negative, you can't get negative, right? Negative thoughts, you got to combat them with positive words. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and self-talk. I mean, talking to yourself, that's the longest conversation one will have.
Yeah.
It's going to be, that's the continuing cycle.
It never ends.
It never ends.
You can't leave, you can't go in the other room.
No.
I'm done talking to you.
No, you're still there.
You're still there.
You're still there. You're still there. You got to look that person in the mirror.
Yep.
So that's interesting. That's interesting, man. So like self-love. Yep. So, but also, how would one apply that? Say I'm a coach.
Yep.
I'm a coach.
Yep.
So if I go into a situation where I'm trying to get these guys to believe in a concept, how would I implement that onto a group of young men? How would I do that?
Yeah, I mean, well, one of the I've been telling every coach I talk to, I say, Coach, the most important thing that you could do the next day at practice is sit on the ground, crisscross applesauce, like they do in kindergarten. Sit there and cross your legs and talk to your players. Figure out what they're listening to music-wise, figuring out who's important in their life, figure out what they're afraid of, figure out what their dreams are. 10 or 15 minutes sitting down on the ground with your players will, and again, it doesn't impact self-talk, but it impacts that camaraderie and that teamwork. So that's one of the first things I would do if I were a coach. Next time I got my team together, I'd sit down and have some questions and learn about, their hopes and their dreams and the things that are important to them. In terms of self-talk, I think you got to do an inventory. You just have to take a moment and talk to young people and say, hey, when you were playing well the other day or when you're practicing well and if things feel good, what are you saying to yourself? and then let them write it down. And then say, when you wake up, what are some of the most negative things that you say to yourself? Because they'll tell you. You and I could sit right here. We can think of the things that I'm not this and I'm not that. And you and I could write a list of all the bad things that we tell ourselves every day that we fight, right? Yeah. Even me, who's studying this and practicing it, I put it in practice, I still hear those negative thoughts. Yeah. I've just learned how to counter them. Right. And I still having an awareness, you got to have an awareness of what you're saying to yourself first before you can do any change. Right. I mean, if you don't know, it's just like a player. If a player doesn't know he's doing something wrong, that's our job as a coach to kind of point that out. Yeah. And so same thing with ourselves. We got to do a self-appraisal, a self-edit, right? A self-scout, right? You watch film, you scout the opponent. Well, you got to scout yourself, man.
Yeah, definitely.
What are you saying to yourself? What are the most common negative phrases that we say? And when it comes to your work, it's maybe I'm not worth that much, right? You bid jobs for a living. I bid jobs. I got a bid sitting on my desk right now that, I had to talk myself up because I'm thinking, boy, I'm going to send a bid in for this much money. I mean, oh my goodness. And wait a minute, you're worth it. You're smart enough. You're talented. You're special. You're unique. Right. And so we even as I'm learning this and even as I'm trying to put it into play, I still find myself talking down, right, at times. And so really learn how to self-talk, right? I would say that's key.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to self-talk, I think as I've grown, I've done better at positive self-talk. Yep. Than I did when I was a little bit younger. Yep. And then also believing in self and then not depending on someone else to talk me up. Yep. Changed a lot. Yep. Changed a lot. Yep. Once that didn't really matter and I start talking to myself and letting those positive things start happening. When I'm speaking positive to myself, yep. Start believing in things. Mm-hmm. So I've also been thinking about, one of the main things I think mentally that I've always locked into was I locked into pain. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I could take pain and then I can stir that into energy. Yep. I can stir that into energy. And so by doing that same energy also saved me from getting into a lot of trouble too. Yeah. Because then I had the strength to be like, no, I'm gonna go this way instead of that way. When we're talking about that, I want to hit this story and just see what you think about this. Now, you were there. So those of you who don't know, Mosley also is one of the few people that have played with me and also coached me. Yeah. So there's not too many guys like that. So
there was some battles.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there were some things going on. Yeah. So with the two of us getting together, it get a little intense. Yep. So there was a time that you were coaching and we were warming up and someone yelled my name and they said, there's a lady at the door, says it's your mother, and she wants to come in the game for free. She said she's not paying. I'm like, whatever. I kept warming up. Then I'm thinking in my head, well, maybe it is. So I go look, and it was. Yeah. And I just wasn't prepared for that. Yeah. For me, my mother had never seen me play basketball. At that point, I was maybe 31, 32. Yep. And she had never seen me play. So that was emotional because I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying? I got kids. Kids out there. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that happened in that game, that was one of my most memorable games that I don't really remember. Mm-hmm. But I know.
And let's talk. And we're going to talk about that too. So, but keep going. But we're going to talk about that.
But that's exactly the thing. The thing from your perspective. Looking at that game actually happened because I know I was emotional because I do remember tearing up. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember actually the feeling. But I think it just flowed because you were that coach at the right time to let that go. You know what I mean? I always wonder, like, why did you just let that, you know what I mean, that action just happen like that? And you even, from my understanding, everything catered to me. Like the ball was coming to me. All my plays got called. Yep. So can you take me through that?
Well, you said the word flow, right? Flow is peak performance, being in the zone. And you got in the zone that day, right? That was, and I remember the numbers close to a triple-double, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It was a 30-15,
Yeah, it was 30,
10 or
yeah,
30-20-10. So like it was one of the best games. It wasn't them Jokics. You were looking like the Joker out there,
crazy.
right?
Yeah, it was crazy.
The Joker with an athlete's body.
Yeah, well, he's different.
I would say, so you use the word flow, and I would say that's peak performance, or that's what people call being in the zone. And you were in the zone that day, and you don't remember. That means because you were in the moment.
Yeah.
Right? We talk about the best athletes play where their feet are.
Yeah.
The best athletes play where their feet are. Guys like Paul George the other night was playing too far into the future, right? Paul George was worried about tomorrow or worried about yesterday, right? He wasn't when he missed both of those shots, right? And in that moment, you were in flow, right? You were in the peak performance. You were at the spot, and I don't know how I sensed it, but you and I are real similar. You know, our birthdays, you know, I think we was born about 12 or 14 hours apart from each other. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You know, years apart, but I'm just saying in terms of, astrology, and you and I are so connected at the hip. And what I saw in you was you were ready, though. You was locked in. You know, you were somebody who played with that pain. And I think we teach young people not to play with anger and pain sometimes, and I don't think we realize that is a place, it's okay to go there, I think.
Yeah.
As long as you don't cross any lines, as long as you're using it productively. Pain has a very valuable place, right? You learn as a young kid, you touch the stove, it's hot, you don't touch it again. That's pain, right?
Yeah.
And I think you were somebody who were able to take your emotions and your feelings and put them out in the court and just to demolish the opposition in the most professional, respectful, polite way possible, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're going,
You're going, right?
You're going,
And again, I do remember. I remember being in the locker room, in the back little locker room, and we were having a little pregame. This is one of the ones we didn't really have much to say. It was one of those games. I think we said the Lord's Prayer. You know, I went through the X's and O's a little bit. We did the Lord's Prayer, and everybody put a hand on you, and we was like, let's ball, right? It wasn't much to it after that.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I remember. I mean, and I know that's on VHS somewhere.
Yeah, it is. It is. I don't have it.
No, but it's on
I know
VHS somewhere.
Yeah, someone has it because an agent has it.
Okay.
I know that for sure because
Okay.
that's the tape that they seen. I was overseas and one of the coaches seen me and was like, "Yo, I seen the tape where." You did some berserk.
Jumpers,
you know what I mean?
block shots, filling the lane.
Was like the ball. He was like, I've never seen somebody be at the same level of a ball for the whole game.
Yes.
So where the ball was,
Goon Squad. That was the Goon Squad.
Yeah, we was flying around.
We had the goons. We let the goons loose. You and Orlando and Lamar, Marlon. Marley Marr, you know what I'm saying? Kaizen training, shout out.
Yeah.
I remember. But again, that was just about being locked in and, like I said, playing in the moment.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you had thought too much about your mom being there, you wouldn't have performed that well. Right? Yeah. If you had let those emotions come out in a different kind of way, it wouldn't have been productive for you. And you were able to, you kind of locked them in to the moment, and you stayed fresh and stayed clear-headed for the moment, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I coached you at all that game. I don't think I really said much to you. It was just one of those times, though, that one of those rare moments that anybody who's ever played the game, anybody who's ever played any game would be lucky to have those kind of moments. Like, we're always trying to have those moments.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why you played it.
I don't remember what happened.
Yeah.
That's what made it so special, right?
I remember it was going.
Right.
I remember it was going. Yeah.
We talk about blacking out, right? We tease each other sometimes. But man, I blacked out.
Blacked
in
out.
a good way, though,
yeah.
right? Not blacked out, but blacked out. Like, I don't remember. All of a sudden,
I was in that mode.
I'm hitting everything. I'm blocking everything. So those are. But that's what that's part of the training that I'm doing now is trying to help athletes find ways to get into those moments. Consistently, repeatedly, over and over, right?
Yeah, then into that mental mind state where you can get there. You can rev yourself up so you can get there.
Yep.
Another thing, I just lost it, but I should have wrote it down. That's why I got this pencil here that I'm not really using.
It's
obviously,
all right, man. We here.
You know what I'm saying?
We out here.
But it was along the lines of that's exactly what it was. So this is the thing that I've been that as I've gotten to coaching into the high school level that I am trying to get through to the everybody else that's there. I'm talking about the referees. I'm talking about the other coaches, the other players. I'm talking about the parents in the stands. Mm-hmm. Is that it's okay to play emotional. They have it so dumbed down that some of these kids that can get to that point and play to that point almost as if you're going to get into a fight and control that and can play at that level
right.
and play well there
right.
aren't getting opportunity because as soon as they get to that level, they're told to calm down, which is a pet peeve of mine because I had to get there
right.
to play.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you got guys that come in there, they can be talking to people in the stands, still go for 30.
Right.
But that's not my game. You know what I mean? So I try to put. I'm steadily finding myself trying to combat that. Like it's okay to scream and yell. You know what I mean? I think that's the reason why I coach the way I coach and I yell, so I can get my kids can feel free.
Right.
So they can feel free to let some of that out.
Right.
And then it helps with the style. You know what I mean? I love defense and they're flying around. We're talking now. We're talking on defense. So that's been a struggle. You got any? What do you think? You got any suggestions with that so I can?
Well, the one thing I would say is it's different with younger people because they don't know where the line is. And now you think about yourself. You and I are both players that have crossed the line, right?
Yeah.
Not because we're bad dudes, but because we got to a spot to where we drop an F-bomb and we get a T. Or we elbow somebody when we, maybe shouldn't have, and now you're getting a T, or you get a foul or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And so it's tougher for young people because they got to explore those limits, right? We all have to explore our limits, and so I think there's that part there's that piece that we have to be careful with. There's also a piece where coaches want control, right? Coaches are control freaks by nature, right? That's we're trying to be in charge. So if I got a kid who's yelling and screaming, and I feel like his focus is elsewhere, and I'm trying to rein him back in. That is the nature of coaches, right, for the most part.
Yeah.
That's why you look at some of these NBA coaches. That's why Eric Spoelstra is going to go down as one of the best coaches in the history of the game, because Eric Spoelstra don't get in the way of his players, right? I mean, you've never seen Jimmy Butler be this calm, have you? Not calm. Let me take that back. You've never seen this Jimmy Butler play with this much poise.
Yeah.
He's still a wild bulldog out there just doing what he does, right? Playing the way he plays, but it's with poise, though, right? And Eric Spoelstra has found a way to say, no, Jimmy, be you. I'm not going to tell you not to be you, but just understand that some of those things are not productive. So like some of those things you talk about, they might not be productive, right? If the officials are mad because a kid drops an F-bomb, well, then it's not productive, right? And so we have to teach kids, right? We have to teach these young people how to play with emotion, how to play to the edge that they can play at, but still be productive.
Yeah.
And I think it took you a long time. It took me a long time to find that, right?
Yeah.
You and I could play one-on-one and want to fight when wouldn't hit each other. But we could get all the way to that point where we're staring at each other and grabbing each other but won't punch each other, right? But it took us years and years and years to get there. And I think sometimes with teenagers in 2020, right? Because 2020 ain't 2019, right? And I know that sounds funny, but where we're at today ain't where we were.
Yeah. Everything's
different. Everything's different in 2020. And so I think it is on us as coaches and as leaders of young men to find ways to let them explore their emotional side and let them explore some of that pain that they might want to play with. But we do got to kind of rein it in a little bit because it is counterproductive if the referees are calling it. It is counterproductive if they're being distracted because they're so busy talking trash that they lose sight of their defensive assignment, right? Yeah. And so, I mean, that's just something that as coaches, as leaders of young men, that we have to find a way to help them channel that energy the right way and again, not cross that line.
Oh, yeah. I think right now is I've seen it. I've seen it affect. I've seen the guys move in a different manner.
Yep.
And I think it's quite effective right now. So I'm enjoying that. Yep. But the coaching bug done bit me. I'm stuck.
Yep.
I'm stuck.
I like it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I got notepads now that used to be rhyme books and now they're playbooks.
And it ain't the coaching bug. You know what it is? It's the teaching bug.
True.
You love to teach the game, right? And I used to think it was the coaching bug too, right? I'm with you.
You're right.
But I'm a language guy, right? And as I'm getting older and develop my language, coaching, I'm not as much of a coach, so to speak, as much as I am a teacher of the game, or a teacher of mental skills, or a teacher of, I coach coaches, we say, but I'm really teaching coaches how to be teachers. Triple impact coaching, name my company: teaching, leading, caretaking, right? Triple impact. You're a teacher, you're a leader, you're a caretaker. And so yes, you got the coaching bug, right? It bit you, but when you start talking about them notebook, man, you're a teacher now. You've kind of transformed into, you want to teach the things that you've had in your life and take the challenges and struggles you've had and kind of pass that on to these other young men. And
that's the goal.
Yeah, man.
That's the move.
That is the move.
That's the move, man. Trying to be me for me when I needed me.
I mean, that's
you all get that trickery right there.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. Yeah. Now we also have our own children, right? And
definitely,
and grandbabies too, right?
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying. I got two of them. Smiley, calm down, man.
Right?
Come on now.
And so, and you're exactly right. I'm trying to be the father, that and I had a good relationship with my father. Obviously, he's the man for me, but I'm still trying to be that for my kids, right?
Yeah,
and then obviously for all the young people that I work with on the basketball court.
Yeah. It expands. It expands. Yep. You know what I mean? That was the beautiful thing of it. That's the art to it.
Yep.
the kids growing, and then and then you just I've seen second generations. I love seeing that. Like, man, I know his father, and then I know three, four different generations of one family, you know what I mean, that I know personally. So that's the Tacoma thing. I love it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You see them growing, then their kid, next thing you know, their kid's at the school. And you're like, okay.
Yep. I got my former players hitting me up. Hey, my son's 8. Can he get in your class? Or my son's 9. And man, you played for me? Now I'm training your kid? Okay. I like it though.
Yeah.
But that lets us know that I think to a degree we're doing the right thing, but it also just speaks to that give back. And I think that's who we are at our core. You and I are similar that way. It's the give back. It always has been, right? It's just always being in community guys, right? We've had chances to go other places and do other things. And, and I swore up and down, I'm leaving Tacoma. You know what I'm saying? I'm leaving. I'm about to leave. I'm fenced about to gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? I'm fenced about to gonna.
Yeah, I'm going. And then
here I'm right back. And I couldn't shake it. And I'm not going anywhere, man. I love it here.
Yeah, definitely, man. When I went to school, then went overseas, and then I ended up coming right back.
Yeah.
It was a Tacoma thing.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I missed the same road can take me from the mountain to the water.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Ain't got to take no turn, straight ahead.
I'm straight there. I'm good.
Yep.
I'm good right where I'm at.
Yep.
So yeah, Tacoma's a good spot, man. What else? But look, so what else are you what all do you got going on lately other than you got man, you a Renaissance man. You got what else you got? Triple Impact coaching?
Yep, triple. So I do my training, right?
Uh-huh.
I work for a couple big companies. Leaders Earned is one of them that I travel across the country working with girls basketball camps.
Okay.
And, lead some of the most prestigious girls basketball camps in the country. We have our next camp up here in Seattle. All things going okay weather-wise and COVID-19 wise. We'll be up there the 10th and 11th in Seattle, October 10th and 11th. I'm leading mental skills development and mental conditioning for a couple teams, for individual players. I have a weekly class for student athletes.
Okay.
And they tap in, we get on Zoom, and I take them through some mental skills training, right? We exercise our minds, right? We call that inner size. Right, everybody lifts weights for exercise, but our mind is a muscle too, and we need some inner size.
Inner size, I like that.
Yeah, so we're working on our mental game, and where you are right now, and where you want to be, the bridge is your mindset. Mm-hmm. Where you are now, where you want to be, it's your mindset, right?
Yeah.
And so often we get distracted. Well, I'm gonna try harder, right? As opposed to we can go lift all these weights. You can have great nutrition, right? You can eat all this great food, but if you're neglecting your mind, it's all a waste.
Yeah, it's pointless.
And it's not necessarily a waste, but it's not going to get you to where you want to be. And so I'm doing that. I wrote my quick guide to coaching youth basketball book I dropped out last year, and so I need to drop the second edition, right? You got to drop that second edition, and just putting classes in place, and so that when we can get back in person consistently. I'm probably the only guy around. I've been working with kindergarten through 4th and 5th grade kids for the last 4 or 5 years, and I run some of the biggest camps in our area for that age group. And the reason I got to that age group is because the first time we did a camp, and everybody wanted to go with the high school kids, everybody wanted to go with the big kids, and everybody wanted to go with the guys that could dunk and the girls that could do all the flashy moves.
Yeah.
And we're like, nobody wanted to work with the little kids. I was like, man, I'll go work with the little kids. And I work with the little kids, and then. About a week later, I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I'm saying, I coach college basketball. I don't necessarily know how to coach a 7-year-old, right?
Yeah,
this is different. You can't yell at them and say, go up to the elbow. They don't know where the elbow is.
Yeah.
Post up. They don't know what this is, right? And so it was about a week and a half, 2 weeks after the first time I worked with some little kids. I was at Walmart or Target up on Union, and the kid said, that's my coach. And the little kid looked at me, a little 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid, that's my coach. He told his mom, who? That's my coach. That's my coach. And now, mind you, I only trained this kid, or he was in a class of 30, 40 other kids for an hour.
Yeah.
But to him, I was his coach.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then I realized, and I started thinking of the impact. And so everybody's fighting for the LeBron James and the Giannis up here at the top of this triangle, right? Mm-hmm. And then at the bottom of the triangle are the kids who are just getting introduced to the game. Mm-hmm. They're the kids who are just getting involved in the game. Mm-hmm. And I realized that I could actually create more of a lifelong passion for basketball, or a lifelong passion for fitness, right? Just for health and wellness and fitness and mental toughness, right? With these little kids, I can actually start to lay the foundation, and then I can feed them to the younger guys like you by the time they get to the high school, or I can feed them to my former players who are trainers and things like that. So I fell in love with working with little kids, and I got 2 little guys myself. And so, Yeah, so I mean that's probably one of the things that I can't wait for the gyms to open back up to where I get my 30, 40 little 6, 7, 8-year-olds in there just going to work, having fun, learning the game.
Getting it. You got fired up right there.
Oh yeah.
You just turned to coach real quick.
I haven't been in the gym in a minute.
Mose, you got fired up.
I haven't been in the gym in a minute. It's been tough out here. You know what I'm saying? These outdoor workouts, I had to put those on break for a minute too with the smoke out there. So
true that.
Yeah, you know, so I'm definitely I can't wait for the gyms to open up and for all of us to be able to get back in there and do what we love. And and you know, really, again, it's about teaching, it's about leading, it's about being a caretaker of the community, right? So I just happen to do it with the basketball. I just happen to do it on a basketball court, right? That's my platform. I'm not in a church, right? I'm not on the pulpit at the church. I'm not a police chief, you know what I'm saying? I'm just a dude that loves the game of basketball, and I can spread a good message by doing that.
Definitely. It's a beautiful thing, man. I'm happy you're doing it. Man. I'm happy you're doing it because it takes a special person to deal with 30 kids that young.
I appreciate that.
You
But
know.
it's guys like you though that you know that believed in me that first year with the Thunder. You know what I'm saying? When we ran that squad, and you guys were skeptical of me at first, and I get it because I got to earn your trust. Right? I had to show you that I was consistent. I had to show you that I was real. You know what I'm saying? And so I mean, there's guys like you and that squad. I mean, that was an amazing squad right there. But it was guys like, and I'm friends with all y'all still. That's what's the craziest. I still talk to all y'all. Yeah. And I still talk about the trips and everything that we did. But it's those kind of relationships, though, that now, you know, I've worked with your kids over the years, right?
Yeah,
you know, I'm going to have your grandbabies. If I'm still doing it, I'm going to have your grandbabies in the next few years, right?
Yeah, for sure. One on the way.
We're only 5-6 years away from it.
You know what I'm saying? Only a couple more. You about 2 years away from it. Matter of fact, he's about to be 7 and 2. Yeah. I'm putting him in there.
Yeah.
You know, he need to do something.
Yep.
He needs some of that.
Yeah, we in it.
He needs some of that work, you know what I mean? Yeah, he running around the house breaking up stuff on the weekends.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yep.
The little mini hoops is crazy right now. They put it at my house, though. The mini hoops a whole nother level.
Yep.
It's not like the mini hoops we used to have.
No, they got breakaways now.
They got the spring on they got the spring on the back. They hanging it from the door. They don't put it on top of the weight bench, on top of a mattress in the living room and be getting after it.
Yeah, my kids already broke. We're on our third one in quarantine. So, you know, they got it. I got a cheap one for them. You know, $25, $30 little one. That didn't last long. Then we got the little more expensive with the little glass backboard with the breakaway, and they didn't understand. So my kid, he shacked it, and he broke it, and he had the nerve to ask, Dad, you gonna fix this? What you mean I'm gonna fix it? You broke it? He said, but Dad, well, we need a new one. I said, well, your birthday's coming up. I guess we know what you're getting for your birthday. You know what I'm
saying? You broke it.
Because we can't keep putting $30, $40 out for these hoops.
First lesson, don't break it.
So we're on our third one. So they're on their third one. They broke the first two. They've been a little more calm on this one.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But, I'm almost out of the hoop breaking stage at my house, almost. Yep. But then, like you said, the grandkids come in and just started the cycle all over.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter.
I was like, oh, man, I thought I was done. Yep. But nah, the mini hoops back up, they getting after it again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, but it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Well, shoot. On my closing, I also want to tell you guys, and we want to talk about one thing that evidently popped up a couple times today in this conversation was the conversation that you have with yourself. Okay? Don't be like... If you listen to all my other podcasts, I talk about be comfortable, being uncomfortable. So be comfortable being uncomfortable, being yourself, man. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're not being you. Look inside yourself, get your own self-confidence, okay? That conversation you have with yourself is the longest conversation you'll ever have. You'll be talking to that person for the rest of your life. Talk to your soul. Talk to your heart. Connect all of it together. Breathe. One of the things that I do in the morning is I take time to myself and I breathe and I get ready. Get my workout in. I have my regimen. I prepare myself. Okay? Start doing these things. So when things that come and they try to throw you off kilter, you're a little more sturdy. You know what I mean? Get your core together. You know what I mean?
Let me leave. Can I leave you all with something too before we shake
sure.
out?
For sure.
And everything you're saying is that's the most crucial conversation that you can have is the one with yourself, right?
Yes, indeed.
And so what I teach my clients, one of the first things that we talk about when I introduce skill or mental skill development, we talk about spitting game. Like every day you got to spit game. Every day you got to kick game, okay? Game is an acronym. Every day the G stands for gratitude, right? Every day you got to have some gratitude.
Yeah.
The A stands for affirmations. Every day you got to tell yourself, You're special, you're smart, you belong, you're unique, you're beautiful, you're talented, right? The M stands for mindful. Every day you got to spend some time in your mind. You got to spend some time in your head working on and talking to yourself, or just being quiet mindfulness, right? Where you just meditate, right? Either way, but we got to talk to our mind. And the E stands for exercise. And we got to exercise our body, we got to exercise our mind, like we talk about exercise.
Yeah.
And so game every day, gratitude, affirmations, mindfulness, and that exercise. Whether it's walking around the block, whether it's knocking out some burnouts, because I know Killer does his burnouts still.
Gotta get 'em.
Whatever it is, but right, you got to get that blood pumping a little bit and get the heart going a little bit. So every day you got to spit some game.
Spit some game. We over and out, man. I want to thank my guests, man. My guy came through, Coach Mersey.
Much love.
AKA Merk, you know what I mean? So it was a good time, man. I'm over and out. I'm out of here, man. I'll talk to y'all later. Game.